So if you want to know quickly the main thing about Saturn when it's retrograde, what is Saturn? Saturn is effort, right? Duty, commitment, sacrifice, and efforts. Well, when it's retrograde, what does that mean? You don't need to put much effort into gaining some certain things in your life. So Saturn actually helps when it's retrograde because the effort that you're putting is saying, now I'm reversing my significance. So even putting less effort will get you the result. If you put too much effort, it'll start reversing things. These things happen with Saturn. That's the main thing with this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Saturn being retrograde, right, till November 22nd. And as you know, I made this short saying that not every transit has to bring the apocalypse and the world. And it'll be this dramatic for you, that dramatic for you. I can't do that. It's when I see this, especially nowadays on social media, it's just very cringe. For a few views and likes, and if you go back to any of those dramatic videos that you watched, whatever they said about the planet, did that happen? So you got to start investigating. You must investigate when you hear something, right? So this is the main point is when dramatic things happen, like people will say, oh, during my Saturn retrograde, I broke up and this happened, that happened, that happened. If a single planet being retrograde created all these events for you, then we no longer need to have an astrologer, astrology, or lessons. One planet being retrograde, direct, combust, exalted, debilitated, cannot bring in a event. It has to make connection with other planets in order to do that. Like, for example, if you look at Nadi, Saturn will be enshrined with planets in transit in the birth chart and the combination scheme, right? Like right now, Saturn's retrograde in Nadi, it'll start behaving like it's in the previous sign in Aquarius, where currently Rahu is transiting. If you look at the Vedic perspective, because Saturn is retrograde, the 10th aspect from Saturn becomes the most powerful aspect. Like if you're going to deal with something during this retrograde, it will be the 10th from that Saturn. Now let's also discuss first, who does this Saturn transit really affects? Number one, when Saturn is going to impact your Dasha Lord, your Antra Dasha Lord. Saturn's going to impact your moon, Atmakarka. Okay? And especially when the planet is 10th from Saturn. Then the other thing you want to also see is that especially in the Navamsha chart, which house is Saturn transiting in as a retrograde planet or even a direct planet? And when Saturn is impacting these particular position, especially in the Navamsha, that's when we see that, okay, certain events gets triggered. And this is why it's a complicated thing. It's not like so easy for me to just make a video for each ascendant and, okay, this Saturn will do this. No, it won't do that. I will get lucky by, 40, 50% in the comment section. That's not what it is. Okay? Now, when does this Saturn transit becomes dramatic? That's what you want to know, right? When does the Saturn transit becomes dramatic? The dramatic part of the Saturn transit on a worldwide level happens when Mars enters Virgo next month. This is going to be, yes, a triggering point worldly. Okay? Like, for example, Saturn is retrograde, right? Most of the disasters we have seen this year, LA fires, the aeroplane crash, the wars in the Middle East, war between India and Pakistan, did it happen when Saturn was retrograde? No. Saturn was direct, Saturn was normal. So no need to, again, panic. Because again, I get messages, emails, Saturn's going retrograde. What's going to happen? Well, more dramatic things happen when Saturn was direct than being retrograde. But when Mars looks at Saturn, this is a very explosive time. Usually, whenever Mars is directly opposite to Saturn, triggering of wars, explosions takes place, big conflicts take place, especially health becomes a very, very strong source of news in the world. Okay. Whenever Mars and Saturn are either directly opposite, or especially when they're kendra from each other, this is the Vedic part. You will see, and this is why it's so common. Every year, some war will happen, some explosion will happen, somebody will get into accident. So it keeps happening. Why? Because Mars will keep moving quickly and meet Saturn, even from trine or a 4-10 relationship from each other, 1-7 relationship from each other. What retrograde Saturn simply shows in Pisces, because what is Pisces? Pisces is a sign of letting go. Pisces is a sign of rest. Pisces is a sign of retirement. Pisces is a sign of also investments, donations, expenses. So first, Saturn controls these things. It's under controlling your expenses. It's controlling your investment strategies. It also makes a person move toward, let's say, their sadhana. When it's retrograde, suddenly other things comes up where it distracts you from these particular things. So now you have to do something else. And especially when Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and although it's not going to go physically in the sign of Aquarius, metaphorically we know through Nadi that is going to go into the previous sign of Aquarius where Rahu is waiting. So here you will see some, again, a bit, right now we took, let's say, third step towards AI innovation. Now as soon as Saturn, and especially you will see 2, 6, 4. Yeah, when Saturn gets into the 4th pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, okay, which will be, I didn't calculate that, but I'm sure it's going to be around like September, October, November. Okay. When it gets in that particular period, you will see some new information related to AI will become active. And especially during this time, you will see some regulation will become active related to AI. On your personal level, though, which is another thing, okay, like I was telling you, you have to see who is Saturn really impacting, which house it's transiting in, and what is 10th from Saturn. That's when, but most of the time, Saturn is profession, Saturn is your karma. So you will see this is the best position for people who have retrograde Saturn in their chart. If you got a retrograde Saturn in their chart, this is actually the time where things just keep moving forward. You don't really even sometimes feel what is happening. Or what happens is a person gets energized, works hard to complete a task because their natural planet is retrograde in the birth. So it aligns with its energy when it's retrograde. When it goes direct, that's when actually more problems seen with the person who has retrograde Saturn. Right now, you will also see, as much as you see layoffs happening, right? You will see companies trying to call back people to get a job. People who are laid off, they'll be getting a call back from the same company. And especially due to some screw up in AI. Maybe AI is not going to be performing as they thought. So now they still need people that they laid off. Okay, come back. And especially in retrogression. Right now, where's Mercury? Yeah, I should have seen my chart before I... See, when Mercury actually goes... Well, it's going to be in Virgo, I think, around, September? Right? When Mercury goes into Virgo, whenever that is, it will be before November, you're going to see that there's going to be quite a bit of data breach. A lot of data breaches will happen during that particular time. But especially if you want to see the true effect of this particular Saturn, look at the 10th from your Saturn. Look at the position of Saturn in the Navamsha chart. Okay, like for example, if Saturn transits your 5th house in the Navamsha, you're going to deal with some issue with the government. You're going to deal with some letters from the government. If your Saturn is, let's say, transiting the 6th house of the Navamsha chart, then such people will actually have to spend money towards some form of health or dealing with some major debt. They'll have to pay some money towards that. And because of the expenses of the spouse, you will get into arguments with your spouse. So again, I'm just only giving a brief abbreviation of this particular Saturn. But the only time this Saturn does become dramatic as long as Mars is looking at Saturn. But again, this is more on a worldwide scale. On a regular scales, yes, things happen in our life. We break up, we get sick, right? We get laid off, but then we get a job again. These are the regular occurrences, but if you look at it in the long term, it's something that is called regular life, average life. In the last 10 years, you've made it. You're 40 years old. You have seen 40 different Saturn retrogrades and you've got a promotion, you've got everything. These small things takes place. Okay, like for example, if we go for Aries, these are the people who are, if they were laid off, they will actually be called back by their organization to come back and work. Aries ascendant people will also spend too much energy trying to work hard. Well, when that particular hard work will not give the result that they're looking for. The other thing, whenever Saturn is retrograde, you don't need to put efforts to get things done because Saturn is effort. See, Saturn is effort. When Saturn is effort and it's retrograde, that means no longer the effort is needed, right? So instead of putting too much effort towards something to get the result, you let it go. You let go of that particular ambition that, okay, I have to put an effort to do something. No, because now Saturn is retrograde. Without effort, things can happen. You're trying to put an effort to get a visa. Without effort, you can get the visa. Especially if you're a Pisces ascendant, Saturn is going to be retrograde, behaving like it's in the 12th house. 12th house is foreign lands. Without effort, you can land in foreign lands. For Taurus ascendant people, Saturn is in the 11th house. So it's retrograde, right? So here, naturally with these people, you will see without effort, you can get praises from your bosses. Without effort, your projects will be done. Without effort, these people can get a job. Without effort, recognition comes in. Sure, when Mars is looking at it, yes, challenge is going to be there. Okay, whichever house Saturn lords, those people deal with those challenges. But it also can align a person. For example, Saturn will rule the 9th house for Taurus ascendant. If father, let's say an engineer, father is a technical person, this retrograde Saturn, without effort, father will get things done in his technical work. For, let's say, Gemini ascendant, Saturn is going to be in the 10th house. So for like Gemini, effortlessly, such people can actually take time off to attain either go on a long distance journey, do something connected with attaining higher education. Maybe they have to take time off connected with the father. Okay. And especially we see some long distance far away journey because Rahu is waiting for Saturn in the previous sign in Aquarius. One naturally, as a Gemini ascendant, becomes very innovative. One wants to take time off so they can do something better and bigger, and it comes effortlessly. For Cancer, Saturn is going to be in the 9th house, right? And Rahu is in the 8th house. So naturally, a person is now going to effortlessly discover hidden things that they were working hard to discover. They effortlessly will get things from the in-laws. Praises from the in-laws that he couldn't get before. And especially because 8th house is R&D, research and development, innovation. This Saturn, without doing much effort, helps them innovate and do something new. Burst of ideas comes into play. But again, all these things can alter depending upon what other planets are there affecting Saturn. Okay. Like, for example, like I said, 10th from Saturn is going to be the 6th house. Effortlessly, your competition, your enemies will actually back away. Effortlessly, you can defeat people. For Leo, it's going from 8th to the 7th house energy. Right? So during this period, you will see if somebody's trying to get married, relationship, effortlessly proposals can come in that actually retracted previously, if we're talking like traditional arranged marriage like situations. Also during this time period, you will see if your spouse goes to see and visit her family, she will not enjoy it, she'll come back. She will desire to come back. Spouse gets mad, leaves for mother's home, right? Wife gets mad, leaves for mother's home, she'll come back. She won't enjoy that. Effortlessly, without you putting effort, she will come back. Right? Effortlessly, because Saturn is in the 8th house in Pisces, sadhanas can help you. Your sadhana will help you. For Virgo, effortlessly promotions can happen. Success can happen, but yes, there is this aspect of health. Focus on health becomes very, very important. Because especially, like I said, next month to a month and a half, you are going to see Mars going directly across Saturn during this particular period. So one has to definitely focus and concentrate on their diet. During this period, yes, with Mars and Saturn, disputes with the spouse can happen. But see how many things I have to like right now remember to really show results of that. Again, I don't even know what Navamsha your ascendant is, or where Saturn is transiting, and what is the outcome of the Saturn. For Libra, Saturn is going to be in the 6th house going towards the 5th house, right? So this is actually the period that a person will effortlessly be able to get loans related to education. This is also the period effortlessly you'll be able to get new job offers. Why new? Because Rahu's in the 5th house in Aquarius. Saturn retrograde behaves like in the 5th house. 5th house is 8 from the 10th house. Anything that is kind of like stuck resolving with the government, that can be resolved. Okay. This is also effortlessly luck increases in your career. Why? Because Saturn is in the 6th house, 9th from the 10th house. So without effort, you're getting things done. And then Scorpio will have that in the 5th house, going to the 4th house. This is the particular period that a person is going to, majority of the people who are, let's say, in foreign lands, they will somehow connect with people of the homeland. They will go visit their home. This is the particular Saturn will also show that a person will try to renovate something that they renovated earlier but didn't like it, so they want to go back and renovate something. Also during this particular period, you see mother will have some kind of a joint issues or feet, dry feet. Okay, mother will also ask you for money or ask you to help her with something, which will ultimately require you to give her some money or funds. And during this period, because again, Rahu is in the 4th house, right? So some new furniture will come in your home. Something that you decided on, but you never really got it. Now that Saturn is retrograde, you're going to go back and try to get that particular thing. If you lost a real estate deal, now is the period you can get that real estate deal. But guess what? How many people are going to go for a real estate deal? Maybe less than 0.1%. Okay. So again, these things may or may not match. Doesn't matter. Because at least you got to know what you need to know. What is it that is happening? What is it that its focus is? What is its intention? Intention is to go back and fix something related to the 4th house. Sagittarius will have it in the 4th house going into the 3rd house. A person will feel uneasy at home and easily will be able to travel and go and meet the friends and go and put efforts in it, especially because Saturn is moving towards the 3rd house of efforts. Little efforts can give great results, including for Capricorn ascendant, because Saturn is going to be in the 5th house retrograde going to the 2nd house. So effortless towards getting money. Here, effortlessly, one is able to travel. But like I said, that particular month, next month, the challenge of Mars is going to be there, depending upon exactly which planet is actually being surrounded with Mars and Rahu right now in your 4th house or 10th from Saturn. Aquarius will naturally have Saturn in the second house going to the ascendant. This is the time period a person will now start focusing on themselves. A person will actually effortlessly will be able to improve their health, effortlessly will find solution to the problem in overall in their life. Okay, and a person will desire to spend something on themselves, especially which is very constructive, nothing luxury. Like, for example, you need some kind of a workout machine. You will get that particular machine because of the fact that Saturn is coming to the ascendant. And especially it'll happen next month when Mars is from the opposite looking at the ascendant, that you want to deal something with the machine so you can improve your health. And especially like Pisces will have Saturn in the ascendant, so duty, commitment, sacrifice is there since Saturn has been there. Now, because Saturn is retrograde, one is able to effortlessly get rest, effortlessly get to go to a foreign place, faraway place. One is able to effortlessly complete things in their career, because remember what I said, 10th aspect of Saturn is going to be the most prominent, which is going to be in the 10th house, being in Pisces. So again, the name of the game with Saturn being retrograde, that the efforts that we put in our life, those things we can get effortlessly. Okay. You want to attain sadhana, like I said, with Cancer ascendant, Saturn is in the 9th house, goes into the 8th house. You can easily attain some hidden siddhis. You can easily attain improvement in your sadhanas, because now it's effortless. It's reverse. It's no longer saying that I need to put effort into things. This is how you look at it. But again, if you want a broader picture, you can't just look at one simple transit and be like, okay, this is supposed to happen. Okay, great. Everything has to be looked at in like literally matter of 5-10 seconds by an astrologer. Dasha, Lord, Antra, Dasha, Navamsha, trine from Saturn, what is happening. But of course, with transit, I'm not doing transit reading anymore. I'm actually now doing Varshafal reading, which is actually even more pinpointed than transit. Varshafal can actually tell you this month this can happen, this month this can happen, this month this can happen, this month this can happen. It's that simple. Especially when you use some of the principle of like even Tajika. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now on my website, which of course you can check out at karasastrology.com under shop section. And remember, Scorpio blank chart prediction is also now published on Margaret Astrology Academy, so you can go watch that and join that particular course. Okay, so just wanted to make a quick video in explaining how these things affect, but it may not do anything for you. Your life is going to be fine between now and November. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.